Cattails are one of North America's most recognizable wetland plants, a symbol of a healthy shoreline. But this familiar plant is linked to over $423 billion in annual damages. How did this happen? The sheer weight of a cattail stand is immense. A single square meter can hold more biomass than a cannonball. And this dense growth does more than take up space. It can literally suffocate a water body from within. We'll show how cattails shift from friend to foe, what fuels their takeover, and what it means for our lakes. The story begins with a key distinction. Native broadleaf cattails are a beneficial part of our ecosystems, but their aggressive relatives are changing the game. Hybrid species are far more aggressive, forming dense, impenetrable walls that outcompete and displace diverse native plant communities, creating a sterile monoculture. Their advantage lies underground in a vast network of roots called rhizomes. These rhizomes store immense energy, allowing for rapid spread and regrowth after cutting. Because of this dominance, scientists call cattails ecosystem engineers. They don't just occupy an environment, they aggressively reshape it to suit their own needs. So we have a hyper-aggressive plant that spreads relentlessly and redesigns entire ecosystems. What does this new, cattail-dominated world actually look like? The takeover starts physically. Dense cattail stands are incredibly effective at slowing water flow, causing sediment and organic debris to accumulate on the bottom. As this trapped organic material decomposes, it releases a flood of nutrients right at the cattail's roots. This creates a self-fertilizing system, fueling more growth. This process creates low-oxygen soil that would kill most plants, but cattails have a special adaptation, a ventilation system called parenchyma that acts like a snorkel. This internal airway pumps oxygen to the roots, allowing cattails to thrive in the very oxygen-depleted conditions they help create. Cutting them is not enough. This physical takeover is just the beginning. What is the invisible chemical damage happening beneath the surface, and how does it affect every creature in the water? The answer is oxygen. The massive decay of cattail litter consumes dissolved oxygen, creating anoxic dead zones that suffocate fish and other aquatic life. For fish, it's a double blow. The dense stands reduce their ability to hunt, leading to lower growth rates and a sharp decline in fish abundance and diversity. Waterfowl and marsh birds also suffer. The impenetrable walls of cattails eliminate the open water patches they need for foraging and building their nests. By choking waterways, cattails impede natural water flow. This leads to stagnant, warmer water, the perfect breeding ground for nuisance insects like mosquitoes. This same flow-blocking problem has major consequences for our infrastructure. In stormwater ponds, cattails clog outflows, reduce water storage, and cause costly problems. So what is the ultimate fuel for this explosion? It's often us. Increased nutrient inputs from agricultural runoff and septic systems create super-rich conditions for cattails. One might think this plant growth is good for the climate, but it's complicated. The stems can act like straws, helping release methane, a potent greenhouse gas. But here is a vital twist. Cattails are not always the villain. In highly degraded lakes, cattails can be the only thing providing shoreline stability and habitat. This complexity is why management is so challenging. Removing them without a restoration plan could make a bad situation even worse. The goal is rarely total eradication. Let's connect this. The excess nutrients we add to water are stored in the cattail's massive rhizome batteries. This stored energy fuels growth that traps more sediment. By acting as ecosystem engineers, cattails don't just add to a lake, they systematically dismantle it, replacing the complex habitat that fish and birds need. Ultimately, a cattail-choked lake is not a cattail problem. It's a symptom of an imbalanced system, driven by excess nutrients and ecological disturbance. We've seen how a native plant, when fueled by aggressive hybrids and nutrient imbalance, can transform from an asset into a dominant and destructive nuisance. Addressing this complexity requires science-based information and responsible strategies. This is where educational resources like aquaticweed.org become valuable. The first step to protecting our waterways is understanding them. Visit their site to learn about cattail identification, impacts, and integrated management approaches. Because the choice between a vibrant, diverse wetland and a silent green desert often begins with how we manage the invisible ingredients flowing into our water.